Hello, my fellow countrymen. I am Manakyn. Welcome to the stream. We may or may not finish today. We may or may not learn the greatest art of deduction in Ace Attorney. Hello, everybody. Let's see who's here. Hello, Roth. Hello, Balaroth. Hello, Endigo. Hello. I fear tonight we will be crying. No, we will be laughing. We will be laughing as we finally take down Iris. Hello, Sams. Hello. Oh, there's no way we're finishing tonight. Well, we shall see, shan't we? Randy, shut the frick up, my good man. Hello, weird creature. Hello, Kiyoma. Hello, Bowser. I must repent for missing. You may repent by joining Iris's Mafia. Hello, everybody. Yes, I just want to play the game. So, shall we play? Actually, to be honest, I've been replaying the Somnium Files since, okay, wait, no more British, okay? I've been replaying the Somnium Files, and I forgot how insane that game was. Yeah, it's a game about a detective who tries to stop a serial killer who rips people's eyeballs out. Was that one a game? I did not play that game. I considered it, but the game moves a little bit too slow, even though it is a visual novel. It's like the only way I could play that game on stream is if I turned off all the voices and voiced everything myself, but then some of the fans would get really pissed. Like how I did 999, right? 999 had full-on voice acting, but I just turned off all the voices and just voiced everything myself. Which is why Clover sounds like this. Oh my god, I'm Clover! Hey, how's it going, Pikmin? Don't eat dirt unless it's actually... Is dirt... I heard that dirt actually has, like, some nutrition in it. It has, like, minerals that your body needs. But I mean, I would suggest you getting that from sources other than dirt. Are you finally getting your $20 back? We'll see. And actually, you know what? In order to find that out, let's just go right into the game. Sholmes, he's probably eating dirt. He's probably eating dirt for science. I totally believe that. Wait, frick, where were we? A reason why the man... Wait, what the heck's going on? I feel like a different, the only reason the fire... What? There was a... Oh, okay, I remember. Okay, so, last time, we found that after, forcing Van Zieks to testify. Okay, so after we forced Van Zieks to testify, right as we forced Van Zieks to testify, right, we discovered that we have to look further into the professor's autopsy, and in order to find information about the autopsy, we had to bring in someone who was at the autopsy, and it turns out there was one person at the autopsy that the big bad, the second big bad after Iris, the one person that he didn't know about, which was the absolute Chad Eugen Mikotoba. It's like, dang, look at this man. Look at this frickin' man. Look at this frickin' goddamn man. Also, Maria's here and she's beautiful. Anyway, yeah. So, and then now we are trying to demonstrate... Wait, what did he say? Yeah, and now we're trying to demonstrate that... Oh, right. And in the process of that interview, we found the persona ring. Apparently, it was inside Clint's stomach, supposedly, because in reality, we suspect that this was actually planted evidence, and we know that because the autopsy suggested that there was no damage. But let's be real here. If you ate the persona ring, the personas would rip you from the inside out. So there's no chance that this didn't do damage on the inside of Clint. All right. What proof do you have that could possibly explain Asogi's silence in court? Okay, so I suspect that hold on, let me bring up the paint timeline. Come on. Not that. How do I open this in paint? Open with paint. I think that's it. Okay. Give me one moment. I know how to use paint. There it is. Okay. So... yeah, perfect. Okay. So... we're definitely not finishing tonight. Okay, I'm just gonna bring this up quickly. So where is it? Ah, right here. Okay, so here's my cursor. You guys can see this, right? Okay. So we know that Genshin and Clint must have met because they had a duel. Where is it? Genshin kills Clint to stop the professor. We know that they had a duel, right? And so I suspect the Asogi papers are actually his confession, Clint's confession. And so they couldn't kill him because they couldn't kill Genshin Impact because Clint had a confession that Genshin currently was in possession of that could break down the entire justice system because Clint probably created a list of names that were part of the big conspiracy of the professor, or like some big government conspiracy. And what? Look, it all makes sense, okay? This all makes sense, right? We start with the fact that the professor who kills 4 rich dudes, he was caught by Genshin, so he writes a confession before going to a duel, and then Genshin eventually kills him with his persona. He was underestimated. He underestimated the fact that Genshin had a persona, but then after that they realized, oh, right, so Genshin demands an autopsy. So right here, okay? So, right here... I think it's probably... that's a big... so we want 12. Gregson... no, not Gregson. What's his name? Strong Hearts Men separate Genshin from his persona ring. Okay, so from there, right, because Genshin tried to stop him. He has the confession, but right, so they try to separate it, and then Gregson demands an autopsy, and then they use his ring to cover Clint's crime. We need green. Using the persona ring. So I think this is what happened. Yes, okay. So using the persona ring, they accuse Genshin of being the dude. And then Genshin takes the note, so that's this confession right here. He takes the note to prison, and then he puts it inside the sword, because that's why he calls this his only weapon left, because he puts it inside his actual weapon. Computer, enhanced timeline. You think those thugs got executed after to keep... Yes, yes. It seems like everyone is getting executed so that nobody can say anything about the about this government conspiracy of the professor. Right? So then this he puts it in, and then after that there was the whole Drebber event, and then what is it? And so many years later, Strongheart's up for promotion, so he starts to kill everyone associated with this event. And Strongheart's up for promotion, and he also uses what's his name? Seishiro, his former student, I think. Anyway, so yes, this is the and also the Wagahound of Bakersfield is currently being trained by Iris. Anyway, yes. All right, we're ready. We're ready. Okay.
Take that.
Uh-oh. Did I answer incorrectly? Did I click the wrong thing? Did I click the wrong thing? The Asogi papers, right? This is the defense's answer! As I indicated before, my patience for this rhetoric is growing thin. It was of course it was Iris! I forgot to I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! If Kazuma-sama's father knew that the evidence being used to convict him was fabricated, why would he have said nothing in the trial? If it were me, I would have protested my innocence until I was blue in the face. So if we were right about the autopsy results, there must have been a strong reason for his silence. Well, perhaps, he was saying nothing in exchange for some sort of clemency? Ah, that could be it. Why didn't the streamer realize this? I did! I was trying to say he was going to use the Asogi papers as leverage! Come on, guys! Game needs me to think a bit slower. My lord, the defense would like to... Enough rhetoric! The court must be shown evidence. Okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay, they're just too dumb. They're just a bit too dumb. Okay, so... Clint's autopsy. All right, let me see where... All right, so what I'm trying to say is that he used the Asogi papers in order to allow them to allow him to do a jailbreak. He essentially signed a contract. Well, not a direct contract, an indirect contract. Spends 20 minutes explaining his theory immediately. Okay, you, listen here, you little piece of Okay, where is it? Dismissal notice. Red-headed league. What is this? What does this say? I gotta play stupider. Okay. Let me think. What would a stupid person believe? Okay. Indications are that the jailbreak plot was conceived prior to the convict's incarceration. Maybe it's this? Right? Aiding. It says, indications are that the jailbreak plot was conceived prior to the convict's incarceration. So it must be this.
Take that!
Okay, look, I expected them to already know this. We presented this evidence like 7 times already. They should have read this thing like 14 times. Come on, guys. I'm turning on the air conditioner. No, we didn't. This is the court record. This is the record. Everyone has access to this. It's true that the Genshin's silence was during his resulting conviction. But that didn't actually lead to his execution. On the contrary, it led to his escape. An escape that was only possible because he'd been sentenced to death. Although I find it hard to believe that my father would have negotiated in that way, the defense is correct. A fake execution, falsification of a death certificate, and a jailbreak inside a coffin. Clearly, such an elaborate plan couldn't have been carried out by my father alone. He must have had the help of a collaborator from the judiciary. Can I do an Elmo voice? If we see Toby Gregson again, maybe. So Van Zieks is just whatever we pick up while investigating. I mean, at this point, I just assume that Van Zieks is like omnipotent. I have here the dismissal notice of the chief warder who was working in prison at the time. The notes read, there are indications that the jailbreak was in planning prior to the inmate's incarceration. In other words, there were suggestions at some sort of negotiation between Mr. Asogi and the British government. Uh-oh, Strongheart. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Strongheart. Oh, Strongheart. In exchange for his silence in court, he was given an assurance that he would be broken out of prison. But the agreement said they would break him out of prison. They never said he wasn't gonna get shot afterwards. Oh, you got lawyered, buddy. Yes, with that sort of clandestine agreement in place, I can imagine how he would have kept quiet. I would go further than that, in fact. I'd say that the elaborate jailbreak of Mr. Asogi can be explained in no other way! Oh, look, there's Maria, guys. Order. First, fabricated evidence. And now a jailbreak conspiracy. See? I knew he would respond like that! Because that's not really evidence! Ah! Of course. Because it's all intimately linked. The prosecution wishes to summon new witnesses to the stand. Witnesses? People who can testify about the jailbreak that took place. Oh, Barry Caden. Yeah, always abusing his power, huh? Governor Caden? And the poor chief warder of the prison? Juror number 2's husband? I won't allow this trial to turn into a farce. To summon the governor of the prison after all these years. Oh, it wouldn't be any trouble, my lord. What? Father. My dear friend may appear a little rattle-patted at times, but I assure you he is extremely thorough. He wired both Barclay and the local prison earlier, asking Governor Caden and Mr. Vigil to attend the Old Bailey as a matter of extreme urgency. Sholmes was smart all along. What the? No, I still don't accept it. I still don't accept it. Okay? The only way I will accept that Sholmes is smart is if he magically appears at the very end of the trial and walks up to Strongheart and says, "No, you!" And then Strongheart goes, "No!" That's the only way. That's the only way. If Sholmes appears at the very end and goes, "No, you," to Strongheart, and the entire case falls apart. Okay, if that's the only way I will ever accept that he's smart. Quit predicting. Mr. Sholmes did that? Are you telling me that? Both men, unless they are much mistaken, are waiting just outside the courtroom at this very moment. Strongheart defeated by the power of no you. or either no you or LOL. My lord, you must permit this trial to proceed as declared. You promised that we would stop at nothing to uncover the truth. He'll call off the dead. Just wait. Oh, we will see. I will never concede to the fact that Sholmes is actually smart. Very well. Bring in the witnesses. Make no mistake. I, too, would like nothing more than to lay this business to rest, once and for all. There he is, or there they are. And also randomly Baroque. Would the new witnesses state their names and occupations for the court? Oh, frick. Yeah, okay, hold on. Lady Juna! Lady Juna! Oi, Lady Juna! Can I imagine it, Lady Juna? Oi, Lady Juna! Okay. Oi, Barry Caden, Governor of Barclay Prison. Everyone calls me Gossip. Your other persona, if you don't mind. Frick. Oh, I do beg your pardon, of course. My name is Daily Vigil. I used to be the chief. The other persona? Does he have a ring? I used to be the chief warder at Barclay Prison. The reason you've been summoned here in court today is to testify about the jailbreak of the so-called professor 10 years ago. Lost the professor! We've already been through all this a decade ago. And the conclusion was that there was anything untoward that happened. A convict escaped from your prison, Governor. Hardly what you'd call nothing untoward. Oh, yeah, well, convict's death certificate was falsified after he allegedly was executed. And he escaped the prison inside his own coffin. A plan of complexity. What is it? Juror number 2's husband, like, apparently, like, he went to check on the body and the body was already prepared, so he was like, whatever. That was it, right? Eat the ring before he summons his persona. His persona is juror number 2. His persona, he's married. See, when you're married, the persona's your wife. Yeah, the coffin was already done. Yeah, exactly. He could have never been carried out without the help of someone of influence inside the prison. Governor Caden, don't imagine that the passage of time will afford you any protection. Uh-oh. No, is Caden responsible for this? It's like, can you imagine 10 years later, Vigil finds out that he lost his job because his superior threw him under the bus after he committed a crime. It's, God, man. It happens every day, but it's always devastating. If it turns out you were involved in the plot to break out Mr. Asogi, then of course, the consequences will be serious. In all likelihood, capital punishment. Oh, hold on there, laddie! All I did was... Witnesses, Governor Caden. Oh, sir! You have a critical role to play in the public safety of our country. A great responsibility to shoulder. The significance of your testimony in court cannot be understated. Think carefully before you speak. Oh, that's Strongheart saying, boy, you better watch your goddamn mouth. Prosecutor Asogi, if you threaten the witness again, you will be held in contempt of court. Is that count as a threat? That doesn't... Okay, that... He's literally saying you will die, so... yeah, the prosecutor isn't responsible for sentencing, so... I don't know if that's... You watch your motherfucking own in here. My apologies, my lord. There's no disputing the fact that an intricate jailbreak plot was enacted 10 years ago. Clearly, you are both involved in some way. So, you will testify before the court and explain what happened. Very well. Let the witnesses give their formal testimony. Tell the court everything you know of the plot to break Asogi out of Barclay 10 years ago. All right, let's see it. Pay attention to his left hand to see if he has a ring. Okay. Lady Juna, it was the day that the Japanese joke was found guilty. The directive came from the prosecutor's office. I assigned the convict to the chief ward of vigil here and put the plan into the action behind the scene. Wait. He's just admitting it. I was responsible for Asogi right up until the night of his execution. But I never knew of any plot. I don't know, Ken, if there were some negotiations between the convict and the prosecutor's office. All I did was carry out my duty for Her Majesty Great British Empire. He's just admitting it. He's just admit. Yo, they did Vigil so dirty, man. Yo, they did him so goddamn dirty. Goddamn, man. It's like, not only do they have a plot to, they have a government conspiracy, but they also throw an honest, hardworking, and fun, and generally a morally good man under the bus. Like, from what I understand, he was a good warder. Like, he even took care of his own inmates, right? He checked on, He checked on the professor and checked on, he checked on him to see if he was doing okay. It's like, what the frick? Like, he was just, like, a good dude. Yeah, and then worse, he had to, like, hide it because his boys and his wife were so proud of him. Yeah, and he must have felt awful lying, man. His existence absolutely suffered. Man. Oi, that's right. Who sent it? Who authorized the plan? I don't reckon that. You're saying you don't know? Despite all the lies Kaidan tells about Vigil, he couldn't deny that he was good at his job. Yeah, man. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Don't expose government secrets? Yeah, too late. Listen, there was a thing about the professor case that was unusual in some way. Yeah, but you didn't have to fire Kaidan, or you didn't have to fire Vigil for it. I didn't ask questions. I just do what I was told. More than that, how can I tell you? I see. But if the jailbreak plan originated from the prosecutor's office, you gotta scapegoat someone if you want to save your own ass. I mean, this is a government bureaucracy. Governments, like, escape accountability all the time. Just pin it on the fact that the bureaucracy moves too slowly or something. One thing is very clear. As suspected, there were clandestine dealings going on between Mr. Asogi and that office. I mean, but I totally get what you're saying, by the way. Yeah, like, obviously, like, Kaidan was afraid he would lose his job, so he was like, quick, I have to throw it on someone. And he throws it, like, can't you, like, throw it on the new guy who just got hired, like, a few weeks ago, instead of a guy that's literally his livelihood? I mean, obviously, you don't pin it on anyone, obviously. There's no good person to pin it on. The jailbreak was promised in exchange for Mr. Asogi's admitting to the crime. Wait, Kaidan just carries an axe with him? Do you guys see that on his leg? There's an axe that's just hanging there. That, counsel, is nothing more than speculation. You're waiting for me to note it. Vigil knew about the prenatal coffin. That is true. And that's certainly a case of negligence. But I think, there's a big difference between, like, negligence and a more serious offense, right? I don't know. It's complicated. And you're right. In theory, even though he did it, he committed a crime by not being thorough. That is a case of negligence. You're absolutely right. So, let me ask the defense. Yes, my lord. I fail to see how these witnesses have any more pertinent information here. Do you intend to assert your right to cross-examination? Yes, sir. I have no intention of squandering a single opportunity, sir. It seems all you Japanese are fiercely tenacious. Very well. Proceed, counsel. Your Honor, he's just a silly little guy. He couldn't have done it. You imagine that Kaidan hates himself? I mean, I could imagine that Kaidan may have felt guilty. Okay, the directive came from the prosecutor's office. I don't know what to press here. I assigned the convict to the Chief Warder Vigil. I was responsible for Asogi right up... Here. This is what... Did anything happen right before? Okay, this is what we need.
Hold it!
Did you notice anything unusual happening in the lead up to the night? Everything... Oh, hello. Oh, everything was unusual. Exception after exception. After all, it was the professor. The man had terrorized the country as before with his crimes. In order to hide his identity, he was forced to wear a ring. Oh, and he was forced to wear... I was thinking of the Persona ring. He was forced to wear an iron mask over his head. Hideous treatment. Yeah, I realized, right? He had a mask in Two Spells thing. Oh, Madam Two Spells. He had the mask over on Two Spells thing. At first, I thought, oh, it was just to hide his image at the display. But he actually was forced to wear it like throughout the entire time he was in prison too. Yeah, that's actually awful. That's actually terrible. The fellow was surprisingly docile for someone who had taken the lives of 5 of the country's nobles. Being the chief warder, I was the only person permitted to approach his cell. Even during execution and oh my god. I can still hardly believe that I was duped by my own country. Man, he doesn't deserve that. He served his country. He protected and served for years, man. And then his country just throws him away. I believe you jumped from the window of the governor's office, didn't you? Lord Wiesel, how can I apologize enough? No, Governor, I don't believe you can. It won't change what's happened. Did Ryunosuke really just go, hey, you remember the time you tried to kill me? He was just confirming. What else can you tell us about the situation? I said in Scottish. Maybe... We'll just take it from the top. And you say you don't know who actually issued the directive? Aye, that's right. All I can be sure of is that it was the official. Oh, it was official. But if it was from the prosecutor's office, that narrows down who could have issued it. And it wasn't me. How can I even say with certainty that it originated from the prosecutor's office? What? There's no telling where it started. There's a fair chance it came from high up the ladder. Basically, how can I give you any indication of who was behind it? You can't be serious. All we can say for sure is that the order must have come from someone in authority. The likes of us on the ground, as it were. They ain't bother with speculation. We just get the job done. You know what they say. Good soldiers follow orders.
Hold it!
So, Mr. Vigil, you didn't know anything at all?
That's right. My only role in the scheme was escape.
When he phrases it like that, it just makes it sound even worse. And it's already awful. It's already freaking horrible. Yeah. You want to feel even worse for Gina? Imagine what her life realistically was like before being taken in. Oh man, you mean like wandering the streets trying to find food? It's like, yeah. Also, since everyone is simping for Barack Obama Van Zeeks, I'll give you guys 10 seconds here. Get off of me. Stop. Go back to vigil. Why do I hear women screaming in the background? Why are they screaming my name? Am I popular? No, that couldn't be right. Not a single person could ever love me. I am alone. I do not need nobody in my life. Some of us scream his name are men. Fair enough. It's the men who are the real simps here, not the women.
Isn't that right, Governor?
It's the men. Yeah, it is the men who are simping. It's pretty pathetic. Look at the streamer right here. All he ever does is simp. Thank you, Kaden. Some poor beggar had to take the rap for it. Alright then. Who else knew? Not just the men, but the women and the children. I've no idea, laddie. My whole part in the business was just dealing with the aftermath. Wouldn't I be surprised if there were some other folk in the prison service who had been given similar orders? So you don't know who else was involved? Aye, that's right. All I can tell ya is the night it actually happened, the person in the reins was Dr. Stevens. Dr. Scythe. Dr. Courtney Stevens, or Dr. Scythe, or the mother of the most beautiful woman in the world. Oh, how I love her. How I love... Oh, hey, how's it going, Pepino? Oh, how I love him. How I love him.
Why did I have to get caught up in such terrible business?
How we love Pepino. We do love Pepino. Your headcanon is Gina is so tiny because of malnutrition. I mean, that makes reasonable sense. She's about as tall. She's like only a little bit taller than Iris. But then again, she might just be short. I don't know. Hold it! But you've already acknowledged that the orders came from the prosecutor's office. There must have been some sort of negotiation. It's the only explanation. Aye, well, be that as it may. I dunno, ken nothing about it. She's barely 5 foot. Oh, wow, she's pretty short, huh? I mean, the average height for a woman nowadays, I think, is 5'4". And back then it was probably shorter, so maybe 5'2". So it's like, she's still pretty short, but it's like... maybe. I don't know. Eggs Benedict's drawing puts her at 5'2". Let me see. Average height of woman in 1900. Okay, I am doing... Okay, so 1996. Yo, why are you writing this in centimeters? What the frick is wrong with you? Worlddata.org. Okay, screw this. I'm not bothering with this. But to be fair, everyone in this game is giant. That is also a good point. Read the centimeters and I'll translate. I don't know what a centimeter is. What the frick is a centimeter? We only measure things in feet and toes. The witness stand is no place for telling you what I don't know. I can that much I do. Then I presume you know this. Not telling what you do know is a criminal offense. Uh-oh. So you were just following orders. Is that it? I'm afraid that won't absolve you of guilt. A man was still killed illegally, even if he was a condemned criminal. See, this is a... this is one of those really interesting gray areas that a lot of people, kind of like run around, which is, the justice system, right? It's like if you execute someone, you have to do it in the right way, right? They still deserve a proper trial, they still deserve a fair trial, and they still deserve to be executed on something on like the right day at the right time. It's like if you execute someone a day before the day they're executed, that's still murder. And, that was the whole Death Note argument, right? He's killing all the criminals, yeah, but it's still murder. And, you still have to, follow the law. You can't just go around the law and stuff like that, so... And I feel like, Kaden was probably like, oh, yeah, like, well, it's like, because it's a weird exception, it's okay. It's like, how many people's lives were destroyed because of the professor, man? You may very well be found complicit in murder, Governor. So that's what it's to be, is it? Even with the threat of conviction, you won't break your silence.
Hold it!
Did you carry out the plan in its entirety? I did everything I could at the time. As you know, Genshin Impact Asogi was shot dead in Lowgate Cemetery after the escape. Tell me, is that part of the plan too? My instructions were to do with getting the joke out of the jail and nothing more. How can I tell you about anything what happened after? Only. Personally, I believe death was the last part of the... Oh yeah, he does have a persona ring. You okay, Kaden? Or are you okay, Vigil?
Excuse me.
Mr. Vigil? Something wrong? You spin me right round, baby. Oh, yes, sir. What can I do for you, sir? Dang. He was so confused he became American for a second. What is it, some sort of Barclay convention? Has he been okay? He has not. What Governor Kaden was just saying seemed to upset you. Just a little. Did it bring something to mind? For the last 10 years, I've completely blotted out the memories of that time from my mind. I was betrayed by my superiors. In the name of the country. That's right, Kaden. Look down. That's right. Just as my father was betrayed, it seems. But you see, thinking back now, I really can't imagine the shooting of Mr. Asogi in the cemetery was ever part of the plan. What makes you think that? Well, it doesn't make sense, does it? I notice he still has the red mark on his neck. I mean, it's probably not going to go away in a day, but... To make the man admit the crimes he didn't commit, with the promise of jailbreak, only to kill him in the end. That's treachery of the worst kind. But the point is, if the intention was to betray him, why would there be any need for the chicaneries of an escape? Yeah, you could have just betrayed him and then, you like... So, Vigil's kind of cooking here. He's essentially saying, why let him almost escape and then kill him? Why not just have him confess and then just kill him anyway? Yes, that's quite true. Vigil's having a 16 IQ. Man, I dare say his IQ might even be 20. If whoever negotiated with Asogi never intended to keep his or her end of the bargain, It would have been far simpler to just let the man be executed in prison. It all happened in that vast chamber of secrets that is Barclay, behind the high prison walls. I suppose nobody knows what really went on in the execution room. Yes, it's an unsettling mystery, certainly. You know, I'd like to think that to an extent nobody really knows what happened because the plan took place over like so many different people. Truth be told, there is a wee matter that's never quite made sense to me. If you do believe there was some kind of negotiation in the jailbreak between Asogi and the body on top, it doesn't quite add up, does it? Governor Caden, I must insist that you explain. By amending your formal testimony. Oh, gods! I... Go on then. I told you to watch your mouth. We could probably do the trial tonight and then do the epilogue next time. That seems like a good plan because like I like to discuss the game afterwards. So like if the epilogue isn't too long, we can like have a conversation about it. So we'll see what happens. It seems to me that the Japanese fella and I have nothing to bargain with. Oh, wait. So Asogi agreed to confess to the crimes because he was assured he'd be broken out of prison.
I really don't think that Kazuma-sama's father would have engaged in such negotiations.
Then perhaps something compelled him. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you for letting me know that the epilogue is long, because sometimes I underestimate how long the epilogues are.
What a terrible thing. Using the law to legitimize such underhanding dealings. Only to double-cross him in the end. It's quite the opposite of justice.
I can't help but feeling. There's something about this apparent negotiation that doesn't quite add up.
Something doesn't quite add up?
No, it doesn't. But I can't put my finger on it.
Well, in that case, we must keep digging.
You underestimated the epilogue when you played and you finished it in the morning. Yeah, that happens to me sometimes. Like, oh, I'll just keep playing until the game ends, and like, oh, wait. Why is it 3 in the morning? Okay, where is the thing? Here. The Japanese fellow did I have nothing to bargain with. Is it finally time for the only weapon he has left?
Objection!
Confessing under oath to murders he didn't commit, on a verbal assurance of later being broken out. Yeah, it's out. Okay, we got him. We got him. Yeah! Genshin Impact was taking a very risky gamble. Very true. There was nothing more to stop the British government, the British from breaking their word and executing him behind closed doors. Under normal circumstances, no man would stake his life on a gentleman's agreement like that. Which means that Mr. Asogi must have had a trump card. Something that guaranteed he wouldn't be betrayed. Some kind of weapon.
Heavens! The fellow can I possibly have anything like that?
But you know he did, Governor. You see, he controls the 50-50. And he also has the Asogi papers. The name given to the last will and testament of Genshin Asogi. Turns out that Mr. Asogi was hiding his will in the cell. The chief warder caught him with it on that day.
You squealed, did ya? You wee rat! Did I not tell you to keep it a secret?
Man, he owes you nothing! He owes you goddamn frickin' nothing! You can't touch me now. Yeah, that's right, Vigil, get him! Get him! Legally, because I don't think you could take him in a fight, but get him! Get him, Vigil! When Mr. Vigil caught sight of that will through the bars on the convict's cell, Mr. Asogi pleaded with the warder. All right, then. But what's on the paper? Oh, that's why they said he couldn't have any paper. That's why they said that, because they were looking for, not Genshin's thing, but someone else's thing. A last will and testament. This will is the only weapon I have left now. A weapon? And after the convict had been killed following the elaborate pretense of the jailbreak, that document disappeared, didn't it? You wish they had a model for... I do kind of wish they had a model for him, too. Oh yeah, Vigil has the persona. He can beat him. Well, yes. All the prison warders searched through the belongings in his cell, but... that will was nowhere to be found. As I understand, an exhaustive search was made for the document, which became known as the Asogi Papers. Governor Caden, I believe you ordered the prison staff to find it at all costs, didn't you? Would I be right in saying that you knew? You knew that the so-called Asogi Papers had the potential to make great waves somehow. Jeez, what the blazes are you blathering about? The will was found right and proper. In the fella's cell where I said it would be. Man, Vigil, that was pathetic. Oh, my dainty little hands. But how can that be? Where is the cell? We all searched the place from top to bottom. Well, you denied you a proper job, eh? You paley-wally gallot. You can't criticize me now. I showed it to you before. Did I know you're a lawyer? Yes, you did. I have the document here. It's written in Japanese, and it reads, The Last Will and Testament of Genshin Asogi. Which means everything is as it should be. Not quite, my lord. You see, there's an undeniable inconsistency here. What? What inconsistency? Mr. Asogi described the document as the only weapon he had left. And yet, this will contains nothing of significance whatsoever. I leave to my son all the rights to Zenless Zone Zero. We might watch the budget cut video at some point in the future, Sam. So yeah, well, we might see it together. Are you suggesting, my learned friend, that the last will and testament stored at Barclay Prison all these years is actually a fake? I mean, everything else about this is a fake. Why not this too, right? It's literally like, it's like, what what about the professor case is fake? Yes. Yes. As has clearly been demonstrated already. What went on in Barclay Prison was far from above board. That last vilification from the defense was an affront to the entire British legal system. I mean, let's be real here. Literally this entire case, man. This entire frickin' case. This entire frickin' case. This absurd notion of a weapon is something for which we have only the former Chief Warder's word. The man could quite easily be lying, or at the very least, sorely mistaken.
Oh no! The palms of my hands are turning all red.
Clearly, we need to get to the bottom of this. We need to know exactly what happened with these so-called Asogi papers. A waste of time. If the will was fake, where is the real document?
Objection.
Mr. Vigil was stabbed in the back by the judiciary 10 years ago. He lost everything. He very nearly lost his own life. And now, you're going to do it again. You're ready to brand him a liar and turn your back on him without even letting him defend himself! It's clear that Barclay Prison was hiding something. Oh yes, but the jailbreak, the mastermind, is someone in the prosecution's office. It's obvious, clear that some malicious...
Your lordship is going to gloss over these notions?
What did you say? Testify! 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 It would seem that a vocal few here are utterly blind to the truth. Very well then. Let the witness testify again. Tell the court precisely what you saw.
Yes, sir, my lord.
See, the people in the gallery right now are literally just you guys.
As the warder responsible for the condemned convicts, I attended to Mr. Asogi and kept watch over his cell. The night after he was found guilty in court, he was doing something with that will in his cell. We turned the cell inside out looking for it after the execution, but to no avail.
We already established that. Fair enough. I only found out about the Asogi papers when a directive telling me to impound them. The document was in the folds of the fellow's robes in his cell. I came now. I think it's called.
In his kimono? That's a lie? Thank you, my guy. We searched every inch of that man's cell. We looked through all his clothes. It can't be true.
So I actually have a kimono myself. I think it looks very good when I wear. I mean, I hate the Nipponese. The Nipponese are awful. Hey, Nana. Were you not satisfied with calling me a liar once? You wee white finger.
There's nothing you can do about it now. You have no hold over me.
He's being accosted without him doing anything!
Other than the hold you like to take on my cravat, of course. Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to give me a good shake again? Oh, are you too scared? Ah! Little and large. What a double act. We compiled the Asogi's will as far as was possible. All his personal effects were delivered to his family, home in Japan. As a courtesy to the homeland of the most notorious killer our country has ever seen. He's still pushing that. We've pretty much demonstrated that he wasn't guilty. And we were much obliged. I can confirm that all of my father's belongings, except the ring, arrived safely. Aye, and you can nay deny the handwriting is that of your old man. Yes, there's no mistaking that's my father's brushwork. He wrote really bad kanji. Like, I couldn't read half of these things. How did you guys read it? You guys can't even read Japanese. Really? And this last will and testament was the man's weapon, was it? I think we can safely assume, that the convict was merely prattling, knowing that his end was nigh. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. Alright, here we go. Here we go. We just need one single thing. We just need one single piece of evidence. Okay, we just need to find... Okay, what we're trying to do is we're trying to demonstrate that the Asogi papers are not the Asogi papers. It makes sense if you know what I'm talking about. He was found guilty. He was doing something with that will. Okay, tell me about that. And he pleaded with you not to report him, didn't he? Right, now I also learned that Kaden didn't actually know the will existed, or the Asogi papers existed, until after the execution. Right, so probably what was happening is that... Alright, let's be real here. I'm pretty sure it's Strongheart, but... Strongheart expected Asogi to have the Asogi papers, and when he couldn't find it on his person, he needed the prison warden to search, and then the prison warden couldn't find it either. That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. Because a Strongheart must have been the one to kill him, or something like that. And then he tried to find the papers and he couldn't find it, or like something along those lines. What'd he say? That's right, that's right. And like the bampot you are, you deny tell me. A blatant breach of trust that was. I could see the man had noble spirit. I found myself wanting to treat him accordingly. But according to what you told us 2 days ago, the convict had been strictly forbidden from having any writing materials whatsoever. Yes, you're quite right. Oh, right. So, when exactly was this will penned? That was before the man was reprimanded in Barclay, obviously. Wait, that was before the man was remanded in Barclay, obviously. Yeah, I know, right? Caden saying you were a liar. Come on, man. Yes, at the prosecutor's office under supervision of the relevant authorities. I personally instructed Asogi to make a will for the benefit of his family in his homeland. In that case, why was it found in his cell? What do you mean by that? Well, if it was penned at the prosecutor's office, you would have expected that it would remain there for safekeeping, surely. It's curious, isn't it? There doesn't seem to be any obvious explanation for why it was found in the convict's cell. Oh, well, The defense makes an astute point. Well, Governor. Listen, Governor, can I be expected to ken the inner workings of the prosecutor's office? In that case, Lord Strongheart, perhaps you can shed some light on the matter. No. Well, I'm out of options. I would have to consult with the notary responsible for the will at the time. Curses! Foiled again! The fact that my father's will was discovered in his cell is clearly inconsistent! I want to know why. Another inexplicable mystery. Plot twist, Herlock also summoned the notary. Oh man, this judicial system is frickin' messed up.
Well, the thing about that will... We turned the cell inside out looking for it.
Okay. As the warder responsible, keep watch over the cell. I'll do this one.
Hold it!
It was the governor who ordered the search, right? Is that right?
Yes. And when I reported back that we couldn't find it, he grabbed me by the cravat and yelled, "It can hardly have disappeared completely!" in my face.
Aye, well, it deny have disappeared completely. I think the governor needs a wee taste of his own medicine, Mr. Naruhodo. Let me get him. I'll kick his ass. Come on, governor. Let's go. Susanoo, stand down. The point is, it was clearly considered a very important document, wasn't it? But it proved impossible to find.
That's right. Then before I knew it...
Let Susanoo beat the men.
It was in the morning paper. That blood-curdling article. The executed mass murderer who had risen from the dead.
You mean... The article based on Mr. Drebber's experience in Lowgate Cemetery.
Yes, that was it. The day after I read the news, I was summoned to the governor's office.
You know what I've been thinking about? Is there someone related to the professor case that is just truly innocent? Wait, yes. Wait, no. Like, Vigil, eventually he went on to commit crimes of impersonating an officer. Drebber eventually tried to kill someone. Even Asogi, right? Asogi did kill someone in a duel, so functionally he's not innocent. I'm just trying to think, is there someone in this case who is like truly innocent? Yujin was there at the autopsy. True, but his life wasn't particular. I mean, his life was kind of adversely affected. I'm thinking of like the people whose like lives just fell apart. You know. Although, I mean, his life did kind of get worse, but it wasn't like as critical as like Drebber, who like literally lost his entire scholarship. Vigil, who lost his job and was forced to beg. I mean, I guess it's very difficult to find someone ever who's truly innocent. But you're right, Yujin, in theory, didn't do anything wrong. All he did was have an illegitimate child named Iris. No, I'm kidding. Getting beaten up by a girl isn't a crime. Getting beaten up by a girl isn't a crime. It's a privilege.
The day after I'd read the news, I was summoned to the governor's office. And
That's when the awful accusations was made.
That you aided Genshin Asogi to escape from prison, resulting in your immediate dismissal.
I'm afraid I really don't remember anything after.
That's right, Caden. Look, I feel bad for Caden. It's like, I feel bad for everyone, right? But it's like, I don't feel as bad for Caden, obviously, right? Like, I can tell he feels guilty, and I can feel bad for the fact that he was put in a terrible position. But, like, I can't feel as bad for Caden. As the governor of the prison, I had no choice. How could I have done anything else?
Hold it!
And that directive came from the same source as the one instructing you about the jailbreak. Aye, from the top levels of the prosecutor's office. What name was on it? I deny can afford her, and I deny can now. All I can tell you is that my orders were to do everything in my power to find the document. The directive said that it had to be somewhere inside the fella's cell. Document. Was that the wording? Document, not will. Everything in your power to find the document. Aye, that's what it said. Am I clutching at straws here? I wonder if it was really Genshin Asogi's last will. And testament. And the sender that was... And the sender of that directive was after... That the sender of the directive was after. Continue with your testimony. How bad was I for Oh my god, Viola. Oh my... excuse me. Let's go to the front.
Hold it!
So would that mean you conversed with Mr. Asogi?
Yes, certainly. Though there was precious little time before his execution was due. He was remarkably calm, considering his days were very much numbered. In all honesty, he didn't really strike one as a man capable of mass murder.
Yet he confessed in full to the crime. Look at me. I get a line here. The fangirls, I can hear them screaming now. Konnichiwa, fangirls.
I know. That's why I felt compelled to ask him one day. I can still recall his reply. I'm guilty of the unforgivable crime of ending another human's life, yes.
When he said humans, did he use the apostrophe before the S or after the S?
I don't know. He spoke those words.
Yes, but was the apostrophe in the front or in the back?
But he was so tranquil and intelligent. It put me in mind of an Eastern holy man.
Answer! How do you pronounce this word?
Tomato.
No, it's tomato! And what about the will you saw him with? What can you tell us about that?
It was the beginning of all the drama. I remember it well, yes. Oh, my hands.
Okay. We're not getting anything.
Hold it!
I thought we could get more info out of these guys, but we're not getting anything. And Mr. Asogi's kimono? Oi, the one he had brought with him when he was locked up. Japanese fun fact. Did you know kimono
actually translates to things you wear. Thank you, Barack Vonzi. I just thought it would be a fun fact to let everyone know about Japanese. I'll be quiet now. Okay, thank you. Yes, he was permitted to have his personal effects with him during the incarceration, I understand. Thank you, thank you, Barack, very That's right. He was granted as much freedom as possible during the few days before his execution.
Indeed. He had a number of items of personal significance.
I just gotta point out, they said they didn't want to let him have anything to write, but they were perfectly fine with him having his sword with him. I just want to point that out.
He was reluctant to part with them. Some books, the kimono, his sword.
His sword! Sometimes I get ahead of myself. The pen is mightier than the sword. Oh, of course, right? So they have to remove the pen, not the sword. Karuma, the famous sword of the Asogi clan, bears the soul of my family. I've just... pretty much. I don't doubt it, but I wasn't really getting at that. And it being the soul of the clan, could the man have had a much more obvious weapon? Have some respect, Ryunosuke.
Respectful silence.
The warders carry firearms at all times, and the inmates have shackles around their ankles. He could not have hurt anyone with that thing. Still, he was allowed a sword, but no writing materials. Aye, he wrote that will before he came to stay with us in Barkrai. Dr. Miko Toba was asked to bring the necessary Japanese writing implements to the prosecutor's office. That's a good point. Kazuma literally broke Karuma. He's gonna have to get that repaired.
Suzuri inkstone, a black sumi ink, and some Hanchi rice paper, no doubt.
Wait. This was written on rice paper? How is it not gone? How is it not rotted already? Oh, you know what? Probably he said this was a copy. Okay, so maybe they copied it or something. They put it in the photocopier.
I was present when he wrote it. But I'm sorry to say, the letters looked like a squirming mass of jet black earthworms. Earthworms to me.
You spin me right round, baby, right round like a record.
Are you feeling faint, Mr. Vigil?
Right round, round, round. You spin.
Mr. Vigil!
Sir? It was Scarlet, sir!
What? You good? You good, buddy?
I'm terribly sorry. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to blurt it out like that.
You good? Buddy, you...
Less swaying and more saying. Up top. Oh!
Wow, Ryunosuke, you should be a rapper.
Something of importance. Possibly. Or possibly not.
I'm unable to tell which way he's leading. Is it left or right or up or down?
Well, he did sing the Right Round song, so... My lord! The defense asks Mr. Vigil to be permitted to supplement his testimony with this possibly or possibly not important detail. Permission granted. Oh, Strongheart, you don't know what you just did. I don't know either, but you also don't know. Let's go! Go ahead, Mr. Vigil.
Yes, it was Scarlet. Yes, I remember the document was written in scarlet.
Scarlet ink stain.
Honestly, if they really wanted to push this, they should have just written red here and had, or they should have had Vigil say red and then this one say scarlet. And so you had to connect the two. The plot is thicker than cake. You know what they say, man. The plot is thicker than the cake. Scarlet velvet cake. How's it going, Punui? I don't know which one we present, because this one's clearly written in black, but this one has scar. I'm pretty sure it's this one. It might be both. I'll go with the will first. We have some health, right? Is the plot thicker than Barak? There are very few things in this world that are thicker than Barak. The plot is mightier than the cake.
Objection.
Oh, apparently it's not the will.
I must object.
Wait, hold on. Cake is cake no matter the baker, you know. Hold on, let me make sure I know. Okay. It was written in scarlet ink, but perhaps I'm mistaken. I presented the Asogi papers. Is that not a contradiction? It's clearly in black! Oh, wait, that's a copy. You know what? Just whatever. Do you know who's very dumb? Me? Yes. You are very dumb.
Sorry, sir.
Okay. If it's not the will, then it's the autopsy report.
Objection.
Scarlet colored writing is what you said you thought you saw, Mr. Vigil. Yeah, weird creature. One of the things about this game, it's like, you know, have you guys ever had like a multiple choice, like, have you guys ever had like a multiple choice, like, exam? And, it's like all the answers are right, but one of them is more right than the others. This is what this game feels like sometimes. I believe that's exactly what you did see. Literally a driver's test.
What?
Evidence again? You have no evidence to say that! Flashback to the multiple choice. Oh, God. The scythe testimony. Have a look at this report here. That's my brother's autopsy. Yes. There's something here that's bothered me when I first read it. It states that scarlet-colored ink was noted in the fingers of the victim's right hand. Yes, so it does.
Scarlet ink?
Now, I'm not familiar with the habits of the British aristocracy, I freely admit. But I would hazard a guess that they don't all go around with ink stains on their fingertips. Now, do they? Actually, my brother had a habit of writing in blood. No relation with me being a vampire. Your wit is not appreciated. It was blood. My brother was a well-bred, well-fed, fastidious man. Should ink have sullied his fingertips, he would have cleaned them immediately. What is your point, counsel? He doesn't. I'm saying Clint Van Zeeks doesn't wash his hands. Oh, you got the man. The driver's test is awful, guys. Clint's still taking out. Not only is he not the throat coat, he's also dirty. My point is this. Whatever Lord Clint Van Zeeks was writing in that unusually colored ink, it must have been directly before his death. Because he died before he had the opportunity to clean his hands. What? I remember something troubled me at the time. At the scene, the lid of my brother's inkwell was open. But Clint was punctilious about such things. It seemed unusual. And no document penned in the color of that ink in the inkwell was ever found. So, as the document had disappeared, are you suggesting that the document my father had was the same document that Lord Clint Van Zeeks was writing moments before his death? Then it was. Mr. Vigil's testimony to be believed, it can only mean that. Mr. Vigil!
Sir?
When you spotted Mr. Asogi with this document, his precise words were as follows, were they not?
All right then, but what's on the paper?
A last will and testament. But I never said my last will and testament. You just got lawyered! Oh! This will is the only weapon I have left now. A last will and testament. If the conversation really did go as Mr. Vigil says, then what we now know completely changes the meaning of what Mr. Asogi said. Dang, he never even lied about it. I would have just lied, man. But let's be real here. 10 years later, a man with amnesia said this is what he said. It's like, how does he remember this? Let's be real here. How can we rely on those words? Impressive that video. Exactly, right? How does he remember this? You really think? Is Van Zeek slowly, is his heart going to grow 3 sizes when he realizes the Japanese are trying to save him from himself? Mr. Vigil did indeed see the convict with the will. But it wasn't that of Hoyo, Cognos, Genshin Impact Asogi. It was the last will and testament of Lord Clint Van Zeeks! What?
Objection!
I'm gonna be real here. Naruhodo acts like a dope, but in reality, he's pretty clever.
This is madness. My brother's last will and testament! That would mean he had chosen to die. That is what it would mean. Yes. No. Impossible. That is utterly out of the question!
Van Zeeks.
Clint was pursuing the professor! He consumed him day and night! whatever happened, he would never have abandoned his investigation before its conclusion. Never! He wouldn't rest until the job was done, till the killer was caught. The idea that he would willingly accept his own death, it's obscene. And yet, we can be sure that he was writing his will moments before his death. And that Genshin Asogi came to be in possession of that document. So what could the will possibly have contained? Clearly something that couldn't be made public under any circumstances. Because the armed with the document, my father was able to negotiate with the judiciary for his life. It was something so damning, it prompted the powers that be to enact the daring jailbreak plot. There can be no question that the will contained the information of utmost secrecy. Information of the utmost secrecy. It couldn't be. I've heard more than enough. Pursuing this notion of a phantom will nobody can attest to. Having seen serves absolutely no purpose. No, my lord. That's unacceptable. What did you say, counsel? The last will and testament that Genshin Asogi had in his hands was that of Lord Clint Van Zeeks. All the testimony and evidence presented to this court has logically led us to that possibility. We have a duty! To pursue the line of reasoning to its conclusion! The info, Iris is the mastermind. Yeah, Baroque breaking breaks my heart too. With no pulsable means of knowing the contents, there is no line of reasoning to pursue. Hang in there, Van Zeeks. Come on. The list of names is Iris. Yeah, man. Seeing Van Zeeks, like, after he has been so stoic and emotionless, seeing him break down like this, man. You know, it's the same feeling that we had when Edgeworth was finally relying on Phoenix. A reason why Lord Clint Van Zeeks, a man of high noble standing, would have chosen death. Information so secret, people in the judiciary would be willing to negotiate the jailbreak of the condemned killer. And the fact that I am never going to be able to set foot in a courtroom ever again because I am about to expose my 7th government secret. The only explanation that fits those facts is an unthinkable truth that will turn everything on its head. You never felt that way about... I mean, fair, but it's like... Man, you know, there's something so... I don't know if it's like magical or touching about a man who hates the Japanese people being defended by Japanese people, man. You know? But it's just too hideous.
Mr. Naruhodo, however difficult the situation might become, you work with your client in pursuit of the truth. That's what you resolved to do when you entered the courtroom this morning, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, it's government secret time, man. Miss Usato.
So hold your head high and keep soldiering on.
You're right. 10 years ago, In his final moments, Lord Clint Van Zieks left behind a will. The will that Genshin Asogi was able to use as a weapon to negotiate his escape from prison. In all probability, the details in the will were related to the Professor case. The defense's last statement is merely conjecture.
What are you getting at, man?
Ryunosuke. As soon as these words come out of my mouth, there's no going back. I believe the last will and testament of Lord Clint Van Zieks was in fact okay, do you guys see when the multiple choice just screws you over? Thank you so much, guys. I'm so glad you like my voice acting. Yeah, man, it's the emotional scenes that really get you, man. You had a theory about this. Yeah, I suspect it is his confession. But the problem is, an accusation and a confession aren't all that far off. And you could call it a report as well. Don't forget saves coming. Imagine if I hadn't done a paid session. How's it going, sir? You got this.
You can do this, Mr. Naruhodo.
Going back to story mode. Hold on, guys. I just gotta Google a walkthrough. You're amazed that I called this in case 4? Wait, did I? I don't remember when I set up the things. They've just been running in my head. But yes, I think it is either a confession or a list of names, probably including his own, that is that are part of the Professor case. It was a confession. A confession. Regarding the mass murderer known as the Professor and his true identity.
Objection!
Oh man, this is going to... The man he was worshipping was a serial killer. Counsel, what are you saying? Do you even realize? A confession about the true identity of the Professor. That was made. Lord Van Zieks, I appreciate this must be hard to take in. But it's the only explanation that fits. The killer that terrorized London a decade ago and became known as the Professor. The man believed to have murdered 5 members of the actually 4. 4 plus 1. Wasn't Genshin Asogi at all. You can't be suggesting. It was in fact the man believed to have been the 5th victim. Lord Clint Van Zieks himself!
It's finally open, isn't it? Pandora's box.
Great Van Ziek's family! They've been thoroughbreds of the judiciary for years.
Lord Clint Van Ziek was a paragon of justice. But he was actually a mass murderer, a perpetrator of the atrocities. If the general public ever found out law and order in the country...
My brother.
Or Lord Van Ziek's.
I wonder, though, did he never suspect?
Mr. Naruhodo?
Lord Van Zieks is a brilliant prosecutor. Is it conceivable that he didn't realize what his older brother really was? Damn. Do you guys think he became the Reaper? Because this is like deep psychological stuff right now. Do you guys think he became the Reaper because he wanted to believe that the ghost of his brother was just? That is some deep psychological stuff, man. He did say something akin to that? Oh my goodness, man. Lord Van Zieks. The professor made use of an enormous hound in his murder weapons. Tell me, did your brother own a dog?
Yes, he did. Balrog. He was a well-known hunting hound dog. People called him a giant. I don't believe this. When my brother would go hunting in the forest of the grounds behind the house, he always took Balrog. After Clint's death, the creature passed away too. Almost as if he was following his master. It was as if a magnificent hunting dog, worthy of the jewel-studded collar around his neck.
A jewel-studded collar.
That's right. Though sadly, some years ago now, it was stolen by a thief who broke into the house one night.
A jewel-studded collar, stolen by a thief. Does it have a B on it? It so happens that myself and my colleagues have come across such a collar during our time in London.
How could you?
Here it is. There was an old emblem attached to it, made of pure gold.
And there's the blood on it too. Oh my god. They never even washed the blood off. My god.
What? An emblem bearing the initial B.
You know it?
It's the insignia of Bakersfield.
What? The Baskerville? Why is that name coming up now?
The Baskerville is a family name of my late brother's widow.
Yo. Yo. Wait. Which means Sholmes knew all along. No, Sholmes is dumb. Sholmes is dumb. He thought it was the Hound of Bakersfield, California. As we know. Sholmes has the sleeper build. He has the sleeper intelligence build. That pure gold emblem was an heirloom, which Clint acquired upon their marriage. Still waiting for No You. If he comes up and goes, LOL, then I will admit he's smart. There can be no doubt. Oh, there can be no doubt. The collar you've described was Balmung's. The family insignia of Lord Clint Van... Wait, but that also means Eugen knew from the beginning too, right? Well, maybe he didn't know that Baskerville was related to Clint Van Zieks. Maybe not, because unlike Sholmes, he doesn't live in Britain. Is Eugen smart? I don't know. They've both been working together, but I'm not sure, man. I mean, Eugen's smart. Sholmes, nah. There was a considerable amount of blood on the collar when we saw it. Since we know the dog was used for hunting, it could have been from a quarry, of course. But it could have equally been from human prey. So it's true then!
Van Zieks really was the professor. Impossible. These Japanese are making it up to exonerate their own!
Man, you can see... Like, you could certainly... If you didn't really know anything going on, you could certainly suggest that, oh, the Japanese people are trying to retcon the fact that the professor was Japanese in order to pin it on a British person. Yeah, I could see some people thinking that. Eugen has wisdom. So, in fact, the person responsible for the murder of royals and nobles was a noble himself. Oh, now it makes sense. Eugen took all of Sholmes' brain cells when he left, and when he came back, he gave them back. Right? He borrowed the brain, and he forgot to return it before he left. Yeah, that's a super accurate response. Like, oh, well, since these guys are Japanese, I guess they're just trying to defend the Japanese, right? If you think about Ryunosuke being the only person who was willing to defend, what's his name? Natsume. That's like, yeah. And that threatened to be a very enormous scandal that would irrevocably destabilize the British society. My father knew that, and was using it to negotiate his way out of unjust charges. But at the very last hour, he bargained. Those he bargained with betrayed him, slaying him mercilessly on foreign soil. Free my boy, and this better be a big press statement. Well, can you deny it, Lord Strongheart? 10 years have passed, and still now, the 6 million inhabitants of our great capital rest easy, believing that justice was done. And though his anonymity remains, the diabolical murderer was caught and executed. Very well then. You may have the truth. Tell me what Clint really was.
Lord Clint Van Zieks was too pure of heart. When he became a prosecutor and went into pursuit of the black roots of crime, he drove himself into a corner. He came to the uncomfortable realization that to fight the most fiendish of criminals requires one to become even more fiendish oneself. Clint.
Is this it?
The 19th century was truly miraculous. A miraculous 100 years for Great Britain. And indeed, the whole world. New industry, new technology, and with the birth of the Metropolitan Police Service, new law and order. But these dazzling new developments meant even deeper shadows were cast on society.
How's it going, Arcane?
Water, sullied by factories, air thick with noxious fumes, crime growing daily to fill the darkness. Lord Clint Van Zieks made it his mission to combat that darkness. But as time went on, it slowly ate at his soul, until eventually he was consumed. It's ironic, really, and somewhat surprising, that the truth has once again been unearthed by a Japanese.
Man, the Japanese literally did nothing wrong. Not true. Seishiro killed someone. Almost all the Japanese did nothing wrong. The World Wars haven't happened yet, okay? The World Wars hadn't happened yet. Imagine how different this game would be if the people weren't racist. I know, right? But the fact that they are just makes this game all the more better. Because it's like, this is as stupid as the legal system is in this game. This is like real stuff. This is like very real in terms of events that could actually happen. It's like, the like freaking like, oh, the government abusing their power? Like, that's never happened before. Once again, what do you mean?
Years ago, your father, Genshin Asuki, turned up at my office one night.
Yeah, I love how this game depicts, like, kind of the prejudice against, like, the foreign Japanese here. Because if you look at, like, how, what's his name? Van Zieks. How Van Zieks treats the Japanese people, he just jabs at them. He doesn't, like, go out of his way to do, like, terrible things, or, like, he doesn't, like, purposefully, like, purposefully like ruin their life. No, he just jabs at them. It's like that's how racism generally appears, right? It's not like oh, I have a plot to destroy all these Japanese people. It's like no, it's like he's like it's very real how the racism is. It's like it's not taken too far out of the way. And the thing I love is that the game itself doesn't try to just punch you in the face with racism is bad, racism. You know what I mean? Like there are so many like people nowadays. There's so many stories nowadays where they're like, yeah, racism is wrong. This story will teach you that racism is wrong. It's like, no, this game doesn't do that. It just shows you how the world comes together and what happens and like the sad stories of people affected by it. Yeah, it's like all the little things he does to jab at the Japanese, but like they don't go out of his way to say, look at how bad this man is. Yeah. And and that's great, right? You know, even Weird Creature's absolutely right. He became racist not because he was just randomly racist, but because society, the society around him, they pretty much pushed the idea that it was this Japanese person who destroyed his entire life. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's so this they don't write stories like this anymore, man. Yeah, it's just super sad, man. And like from this one situation, like, and the one thing I love is this, like, you guys said like this is one of the best Ace Attorney games, and I completely agree with just based on how it's written. You can just see like the far-reaching effects. It's turning 10 this year. Oh wow. It's like, you can see like the far-reaching effects of this one thing that happened, right? It's like, and so much of it is like, has nothing to do with it, but you can see how far-reaching it is. Drebber lost his scholarship. He had nothing to do with this, right? It's like, Maria's mother is now in jail. Obviously, Kazuma lost his dad. But, I have a suspicion that Iris will probably never meet her parents because of this. It's like, there's so many people that just have nothing to do with the case, but you can see how it all, like, affects them. Man. This game is the GOAT, man. This game's the frickin' GOAT. Almost as much as Clint Van Zieks was the throat GOAT. It's hard to get out of old mindset. Yeah, I know, right? It is... This series is the absolute GOAT. And you can even see, like, Natsume, just due to, like, the people's dislike of Japanese that we didn't even know about at the time. Kazuma's mom died to grief. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Kazuma's mom died to grief as well. Man. Yeah, there's just so many people whose this has been affected. I actually think back to, what is it? You call me a simp if you want, but I actually think to Maria, right? It's like all the kids, right? Maria, she lost her mom for just, she has no idea why, she just lost her mom. I know she's a little bit sick and twisted, but yeah. Iris doesn't have her parents. I mean, I guess Gina's like one of the few kids who has a crappy life that really wasn't particularly affected by this. But Daly lost his job. Tobias is dead. It's just... No one is all good except Susato. Susato, I don't think Susato did anything wrong. She throws us out of love. Yeah, it's true. Gina loses the one person who she might have called her dad. That's true.
10 years ago, your father, Genshin Asogi, turned up at my office one night. The professor Yes, beyond the shadow of a doubt. You must issue a warrant to search his home at once. Don't be absurd.
He figured it out. He challenged him to a duel because he really did figure it out. Like, you know, me saying he figured it out was kind of like a educated guess, but no, he really did figure it out. He really did frickin' figure it out. Like, he's at the level of Yujin Mikotoba, and not Sholmes. Sholmes is no. But yeah, and aside from the bit of tampering Susato, I would even argue that Susato wasn't actually guilty of tampering. Because at the time... Wait, at the time, did she know it was a crime scene at the time? Yeah, she didn't even know it was a crime scene at the time. Right? So she was using the cat flapple map to ensure her safety. I would even argue that she did nothing wrong there. She's too harsh. Maybe she's too harsh on herself. Man. You might even have 20 IQ, maybe. When you're not blinded by racial pride. Yeah, I know, right? It's just... Man. This is just... Oh my goodness. I'm just seeing this. The spectrum of post-trial fix from Barak's POV is either falling in love with Kazuma or drinking himself to death. Well, fan fiction will always be fan fiction.
The man comes from one of our country's most illustrious families. He is a paragon of justice here in this capital. Yes, that is the point. That is why none of you British can see it. He's using his noble status as a diversion while he commits the atrocious crimes behind his scenes. Do you have evidence? Nothing definitive as of yet. But he keeps an enormous savage hound on the estate.
Let me guess. Lots of people have dogs.
We need the full support of the judiciary for this. We are up against a member of the aristocracy. So a large family estate has a fierce guard dog. Lots of people have dogs.
What can I say? I understand how these pompous rich assholes think. Okay? I get it. Maybe it's because one day I am destined to be a pompous rich asshole myself. Kazuma said earlier, only an outsider can see the truth. Yeah, ooh, that is actually... You put that line into context. Now imagine Japanese players who've been waiting for 2 years between these two games. Yeah, 2 years? Was it 2 years? Oh man, that would have been rough.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. But I cannot possibly put Scotland Yard on this based on the tenuous accusation of a visiting student.
Man, I do also understand the difficulty that Genshin was in. Like, there's no way he had any leverage here.
So I turned down Asogi's play. And as a result, he took it upon himself to visit the Van Zieg's mansion.
Maybe he was trying to get him to confess.
We can only imagine now what happened between the two men. Though we know the outcome, Lord Clint Van Zieks perished after writing a will in blood. I don't believe this.
So in actual fact, Kazuma-sama's father's father did.
Yeah, man. You know, I was just thinking that at Punwit. In order to stop a vigilante, Kazuma's dad, Kazuma Senior, Genshin, had to, also become a vigilante in the process. And then, to an extent, he accepted his own fate. Yeah, he didn't really think he was going to get executed, but still, right? He did admit to the fact that he murdered someone. He made the late Lord Van Zieks meet the same fate. He put a permanent end to the professor killings by taking the drastic measure of ending the perpetrator's life. Can someone get Van Zieks a chair? Come on, guys.
As soon as I heard, I hurried to the mansion. When I arrived, it was easy to grasp what had happened.
So it means the apostrophe really was before the S. Yeah. What about the will?
Asogi must have already taken it. Nothing of that nature was found at the scene. We had no idea of the existence of such a document. I was the only person who knew of the true identity of the professor. So, I resolved to keep it a secret, and to guard the secret to the bitter end.
So you're admitting to it? That you were behind it all? It was you then. You pinned the crimes on my father.
I did what needed to be done in order to protect the law and order of the British Empire.
Do you know how many people have suffered because of this one case? The way he says, oh yeah, well, it was the right thing to do, just trust me on this. It's like, leave it to rich aristocrats to tell you what is the right and wrong thing to think. Frickin' frick, man. What frickin' order, exactly? Yeah, leave it to rich assholes to tell you what's the right thing to think. Frick, man. The sad thing is, yeah, I do believe he thinks he's right. Right, and let's be real here. This was the pervading... This was the foremost style of thought up until maybe the most recent modern ages. Right? There's a monarchy, right? Because the family is the ruling class. So it's like, your job is to rule the country. And so you tell us what to do, what to think, right? As opposed to the poor aristocrats. Then it was you who arranged this fabricated evidence. Strongheart's the scariest because he's realistic. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Fair.
I ordered the detective to take care of it. whilst keeping the truth from him. Naturally. You mean Gregson? You mean Gregson? Obviously. He had opposed me that first.
Man, it's 10 years ago, but it's not a day over 20. Look at me. I'm a young buck. Hey, off your rocker, man, see? We can't do something like that.
There's no question that it was Asogi who murdered Lord Van Zix. The house staff have made statements that they saw the man running from the mansion that night.
Yeah, well, no doubt that was the Japanese fella, man, see? But we haven't got a shred of conclusive evidence against the man. Man.
Oh, so this is when he pinned it. This is when he pinned it on him. He was trying to convince Gregson that the killer was actually the professor was actually Asogi.
And worse than that, he doesn't give a darn. We're short of a murder weapon to boot. Man, see?
And we're short on time, Gregson.
Ah, my pocket's full of grease again. Man, see?
We must put a stop to the man's rampage. For the good of the country.
Classic ends justify the means, right?
So we'll use whatever means necessary. Do I make myself clear?
Blimey, see?
And as he walked out of my office...
Man, what's this little doll right here?
I'm Elmer, and I love you.
What, you keep dolls around, man, see?
There's your Elmo voice.
So that night, 10 years ago, when I was attacked by those thugs in the back streets...
It's a year old Tickle Me Elmo, man, see?
Yeah, like this is, man, and here's the thing, right? This is why this is so good. Because to a certain extent, Strongheart is not wrong. That's the reason why, right? Because we do know if something like this did happen, there would be complete disorder. So to an extent, he's right in saying, oh, if we do this, we can keep public security and public safety. Because, like, this is a situation where no matter what you do, things go to hell. So it's like, to an extent, he's not wrong. And that's the scary thing about it, right? And, you know, somebody said, what was it? The story was done well and written organically. And see, that's the thing I think about so many modern stories are incapable of getting right, is this idea that the bad guy must always be 100% bad. And he's like, okay, this is the bad guy. Oh, he's also racist. He's also sexist. He also likes to kill children. He also likes to kick puppies. It's like, no, a lot of bad guys aren't particularly bad. A lot of bad guys have, like, maybe twisted senses of justice, or maybe they believe there are certain things that must be preserved, or they can't change, or something like that. The battle between the injustice of imprisoning and letting the criminal... Yeah, to an extent, yeah. To an extent, absolutely. And that's like this is like a real thing that happens in the world. And so I love this. Yeah, it's like, what do you do in this situation? Do you allow chaos? Or do you allow a lie to preserve order? Strongheart likes to get... Maybe. We don't know for sure.
and Genshin's ring was taken. That was him, was it? That was Gregson and some hired help? Wait a second. That night, I kept hearing one of them say, "Meh" and "see," but I didn't put it together. One of them kept saying, "I need some fish and chips, see?" And, "Meh, the fish and chips are getting cold, see?" How could I not have seen it before?
And the detective handed the stolen ring to Dr. Wilson, who feigned its discovery in the victim's stomach during that autopsy. In light of the decisive evidence, Mr. Asogi was found guilty on the charges brought against him. However, behind the scenes, he had already struck a deal with his accusers, in which he silently agreed to accept the charges. But I just don't believe that part. As far as I knew, the man my father despised such underhanded dealings. It was extremely easy to make him comply. You see, he had one crippling weakness.
Kazuma? What weakness?
Isn't it obvious? You, Kazuma Asogi.
Me.
Perhaps you have no desire to return to your homeland, Asogi.
So he really thought he was going to make it out.
What? How long have you been winding that one clock? I must wind it until I can wind no more. I hear you have a 14-year-old son.
Right, when he left, Kazuma was 8.
Agree to cooperate. Accept your guilt without contention. You will see Japan and your son again. Again. You scoundrel.
Man, they really put him in a no-win. I guess the entire thing is a no-win situation.
Whether or not you choose wisely, it will be a closed trial by order of Her Majesty. So whatever rash claims you might make in court, we'll have no trouble stifling them.
He literally just said, you know, this entire trial is going to be a goddamn farce, so you better listen to me. That is crazy. That is freaking crazy. He just says it. He's like, yeah, this trial is a farce, man. You're going to clown court, so you better listen to me. I mean, he tells it like it is. What can I say, right?
There's only one outcome for you. The gallows. Don't forget I still have a weapon at my disposal. A document revealing a truth that I know you're desperate to keep hidden. Yes, it hasn't escaped my mind. Which is the only reason I'm willing to bargain with you. I only want to protect this country's law and order. You understand? So, what's it to be, Asogi? He did it for me.
You're okay, Kazuma. You're okay. Come on, stand tall. And as I told him at the time, my motive was simply to protect Britain from the damage the truth would do. But you know, what is it? People even wrote letters to Kazuma calling his father a murderer. Eventually, they found him. Right? So, you know, letting him escape wouldn't have kept the secret for as long as it wouldn't have kept the secret forever either. Yeah, man. And look at him smiling. Susato, smack that freaking grin off his face. To protect this country's law and order at any cost.
Objection!
The most evil smile? I'm not evil. I've never dared let myself even consider this possibility until now. But in the light of all this treachery, I have to ask. The mastermind behind the Reaper of the Bailey. Was it you, Lord Mayor Strongheart?
Lord Caden, are you going to jail after this?
Yeah, probably.
You want to get some snacks while we watch?
Aye, sure, laddie. A rather brilliant idea. Wouldn't you say, Lord Baroque Van Zeeks? Let the spirit of your late brother, the paragon of justice, should return to reap justice for his sibling. Could there be a more appetizing tale for London's masses? I ask you.
What brazen?
I knew you'd play the part to perfection. But your role really wasn't that of some embodiment of death. No. You were London's guardian angel. An angel with bloody hands? I think not. Yeah, man, if this ain't some coercive, manipulative crap, frickin' goddamn. Those who had cooperated with me already were only too happy to participate in my plan. Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson. My minions worked tirelessly to ensure that the finger of guilt could never come to rest on you. It's all thanks to them that you were exalted as the demigod the Reaper became. Do you know how many attempts on his life there have been? It's like we saw another one, just like, in the Hairbrain case. Apparently a lot of people have tried to kill him. Yeah, this is some goddamn... I am the mastermind. I'm the mastermind who will try to stop me. But Dr. Wilson left Britain for 4 years when he was invited to work in Japan. That's right. So I had to employ his services of his young protege after that. Dr. Courtney Scythe. Oh, I see.
But now it's Maria because, well, we're running out of good coroners, actually.
The entire fandom agrees that Baroque's body is covered in scars. I mean, he has a massive scar on his face already, so wouldn't be surprising if there were a lot of scars on his body, too. Strongarm put this poor, grieving man... Yeah. He put him, like, in the crosshairs for over 10 years. Dr. Scythe.
So what with the execution of the professor and the subsequent reign of the Reaper of the Bailey? I've successfully safeguarded law and order in our mighty capital for the past decade. That is everything. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, I hereby confess it was I who sired the concept of the Reaper. However, let me say in my defense, it was all for the preservation of law and order across the entire empire! Strongarm did it.
An unforgivable collection of crimes.
All those who died at the Reaper's hand were rotten to the core anyway.
If it was... Are you guys call yourselves freaking justice ministers? The leaders of the justice system in your countries, and you said, oh, well, he only killed bad guys, so whatever. Really, guys? Really, guys? And yeah, exactly. And now it's like, okay, well, we're learning that in order to run a good justice system, we need some guy doing a whole bunch of crap. They're debating it? Yeah, they are debating it, but at the same time, I cannot believe someone would even say that. Man. Do you think something of this scope has happened in real life? Oh, undoubtedly. Like, maybe not to this dramatic effect, but definitely. Something like this would definitely have happened.
There is no one left now who can reveal the precise truth of what happened 10 years ago. Therefore, this trial can go no further. Now, I would like to entreat all those present beyond these four walls. I've brought peace and security to my new empire. Nobody needs to know the truth. Even Her Majesty must.
Her Majesty, at least from what I understand in this era, Her Majesty is what gives you the power to even do all this in the first place. From what I understand. So it's like, damn. That's like saying, I was born of my own free will. My parents had nothing to do with it.
I trust you all appreciate the importance of my request. It is, of course, for the good of the country.
You know, I would accept Strongheart. I may consider this if Strongheart resigns, makes a public resignation, even if he says, oh, well, all of this is a secret. No, it's like, if Strongheart resigns, I don't know. Because the question is, what can you do to protect order while at the same time making sure the people who are guilty get punished. And it's really hard. Can he do this? Can the trial really just end?
Hold it!
Alright, speak your mind. I have one last question. For the accused, Lord Van Zeeks. What? Of course, I know you're a highly accomplished prosecutor. So I find it hard to believe that you didn't have any doubts at all. That you never suspected your older brother. Yes, the same thought occurred to me. It was only once, but yes. I could never say that I never had my doubts. My brother's sense of justice was extremely strong. Perhaps too strong, I observed. At the time, there were members of the aristocracy. They were blading the country dry for their own gain. It makes sense, right? Because this is, Right, remember what I said? Something about he maybe he's like a vigilante? Since they were nobles, they were untouchable. For my brother, it was a great source of turmoil. And coincidentally, at the same time, the professor began his terrifying reign. During the time of the professor killings, my brother did not appear to be himself. And that made you suspect? Yes. But it was only once. Not more. Only once? Really? Clint wasn't the culprit. That was my conclusion at the time. And I still believe that now. Do you have any evidence to support that idea? Man, he is still fighting for his brother. No, he's not. He is still fighting for himself, man. He is still fighting for his own beliefs, man. He's like, he doesn't want his world to fall apart. The third victim was the Lord Chief Justice at the time. It was he who had recognized my brother's potential and trained him as a prosecutor. Oh, so he thinks that he might not have killed his own teacher. No matter what the circumstances, it's unthinkable my brother could have killed his friend and mentor. That will do. Neither Clint, Van Zeeks, nor Genshin Asogi shall walk this earth. However much we debate this matter now, we cannot hope to reach a conclusion. But there are only two extant pieces of evidence from the time. The woe-begone ring. And that acted as the incriminating evidence to condemn Genshin Asogi. And the 3-page last will. A testament penned in black ink, left behind by the man. The wretched truth of what happened is exactly as I have explained. Later today,
I will present myself at the Ministry of Justice for whatever sanction is deemed appropriate. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Objection!
Will Ryunosuke Naruhodo ever shut up? Find out. Next time.
Ah, that was a perfect cliffhanger. Oh, you gotta go. Thanks so much, Keel. I was thinking, no, come on, someone interject. Come on, someone object. Someone stop during his speech. And then the trial was ending. I was like, wait, no. Someone object. Come on, hurry up. I was like, yeah. The next stream will be legendary. Oh, I am so excited. I'm so freaking excited. You might not be there. Dang. Well, I'll make sure I always have the VODs up. I know sometimes it's not the same, but I'll always have the VODs up. I hope you can make it though. Because dang. These, like, it is about to get good. Like, this will be the stream. Like, will we be able to finally catch Iris? The answer is no, we'll never catch Iris. But we might be able to catch Strongheart. You're willing to do an all-nighter for the finale? Well, I think we are probably like based on, I don't, usually the fifth chapter is like always long. But it's like, I think based on, you know, what I know about the length of the trials, we have about maybe like 3 hours, maybe. Maybe at the end. Always at the end. How many kisses does the Baroque plushie get today? 1,634,259. Will you ever get your... No, unfortunately not, because Sholmes is dumb. As we all know, Sholmes is dumb. Whether or not I'm willing to do... Well, whether I'm not willing to do paint. Well, the real question is, if I can finally start on time, we might be able to finish. If I can finally start at 4 o'clock p.m. instead of 5 o'clock p.m. Four hours with credits. I mean, credits is usually like the ending scenes. We like the ending scenes. Yeah, if I could start at 4 o'clock, because usually I stream at 4 o'clock. It's only recently that I've been doing 5 o'clock because my schedule has just been awful. Yeah. If you start on time, I'll have to show up on time. Sure. Yeah, recently my schedule's been terrible. On time? Nah, I would never be on time. No more cross-examination? I mean, there's probably one more, one more small thing or something. But it looks like we're going to be trying to point out some problems coming up. I don't know. Schedule it an hour early so I can be on time. It'll never happen, apparently. I mean, I did guys, Iris hasn't taken the stand yet. Obviously, there's one more. Okay? Guys, come on. Like, you guys... I know you guys are trying to avoid spoilers, but let's be real here. Iris hasn't taken the stand yet. So... and it turns into a fighting game. You play as Susato. Hot, hey, hot! How tall do you think Iris is? Has Iris ever been on the stand? I don't think she has. Gina's definitely been on the stand. Gina's like always in court. Who do you main in TGAA fighter? She's been co-counsel, but she's never been a witness. Yeah, she's been behind the bench, but she's never been behind the witness stand. Yeah. There's a DLC case? Wait, there is a DLC case? I'm not sure if we will play that one, but I'll have to look that one up at least. Oh, maybe the DLC case was never translated though. Not in the collection. Is it like only in Japanese? Seishiro's your main. I don't know. Iris is pretty OP. She has the rocket launcher. It's Japan exclusive. Aw, darn. Yeah, what is it? TJA fighter. Iris is pretty OP. She has ranged attacks. I should do the 10 escapades. What is the 10 escapades? Is that related to Ace Attorney? Rock's leg sweep attack. Sholmes' like ultimate is just his hair turns red. 8 escapades. Ace Attorney? What is that? Oh, they're like mini cases? Oh, they're extra scenes. Oh, I see. If we have time, maybe. They're like little scenes, I see. Yeah, if we have time, we might do it. They're about 15 minutes each. They're each about 15 minutes. Okay, I see. They're fun and have a lot of cool character lore. Yeah, we might do it on stream. If not, I'll make sure I at least look at them off stream. But yeah. Yeah, but oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited. I don't know what's coming, but we gotta figure out a way to, what is it? I don't know. Strongheart has confessed. It's like, I doubt he's confessed everything, but he's confessed enough to put him in jail. They're only based on the first game. Oh, so Gina's not a detective yet. We'll be crying. Oh yeah, we also have to know whether or not Naruhodo decides to go back to Japan. But she's out of jail. Okay, that's good. Yeah, but totally random. Did Double Jeopardy exist yet? Did the concept of Double Jeopardy exist yet? I was just thinking about that for the McGilded case. It's like McGilded got a not guilty verdict. But if the concept of... No clue? It carries the implication that what is it, that she was only in jail for a couple of weeks at most. I see. I mean, to be fair, right, she did it. Her crimes are fairly mild. You had this conversation earlier today. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I wonder if Double Jeopardy existed. I thought she was in jail for 2 months. Yeah, but it's like certainly not like the what is it? The several years that I thought she'd be in. The friends, the rivals. You're never getting that money. Ryunosuke is going to return to Japan. We see Sholmes crying in the background, and Iris is all like, Hurley, are you going to be all right? And Hurley responds, who's going to pay the rent now? let me think. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney was released in 2001. And when does Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, what year does Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney take place? 2016. So it was a future game. There you go. There's your future. Space Attorney. Yeah, but dang, like I gotta say, if this is, I know this is the most recent Ace Attorney game, right? The Great Ace Attorney. And dang, the series is turning 10. That Great Ace Attorney. Great Ace Attorney is turning 10. I'm not sure you guys know this, but Ace Attorney actually has a bit of a special place in my heart. And this is something I don't really talk about very much. But I'll tell you guys this fun little story. So there was a time in school where, like, what was it? Well, long story short, I was in between schools. Because of, let's just call it complications, right? There were complications that was in between schools, and so, like, I had, like, nothing to do, and I felt bored, and I felt like completely, like, I kind of felt alone. And do you know what was the big thing when I was growing up? It was YouTube. It was freaking YouTube. And so I would go on YouTube and look up videos. And I would find all these videos of the Phoenix Wright characters who I didn't even know. I didn't even know who they were yet. I would just see them sprites. And people would, like, make stupid, like, YouTube poop videos on of these sprites of them talking, or like talking about, like, I don't know, like some like stupid crap. And so that was my first exposure to Phoenix Wright. It was the stupid the stupid YouTube poops. Yeah, so those videos very much survive today. Yeah, I saw one. Let me see if I can find it. Oh. Phoenix Wright. Steam. No. What is it? Steam Mirror Debate.
I love cold shit.
There it is. Okay, hold on. Here. Oh. I love cold showers.
I love cold showers. How did the mirror fog up if you took a cold shower? She said that she loves cold showers, not that she had a cold shower. If she had a cold shower, she would have said so. Even if she does enjoy cold showers, would it not be contradictory for me to say I love mustard and then show a picture of a bottle of ketchup? That is an unrelated hypothetical to the dilemma at hand. To engage with such would be to engage with a fallacy. You can't object on the grounds of relevancy here. The principle of both situations is the same. He's just illustrating the situation to prove that it's deceptive. Are you claiming my client's a liar? I'm simply saying one can see in Exhibit A that she is not above attaching deceptive imagery to her statements. Let the record reflect that you brought up the word liar. My client has already stated that she had bathed in hot water and then in cold water. You failed to consider that both could be the case, yet didn't hesitate to say she's above deceptive imagery. Wildly unprofessional there. At no point did she imply that she bathed in hot water. Her statement only implies that her water transitioned from hot to cold. I must say, no shower control system I've ever encountered starts on hot and moves to cold. You failed to consider the possibility that she took a hot shower, disliked it, and then took a cold shower to make up for it. Thus, only enjoying the cold shower. If she knows that you
Anyway, I freaking love that video. Yeah, so those are the videos I watched. Like they were even worse quality. They were in 240p. Okay, this was at like the beginnings of YouTube. And so like when I was like, oh, I don't know what to do with myself, I would go on and I would see these stupid things. I don't even remember if Phoenix stretching even more than it can. I know, right? No llamas with hats. We will. You know what we haven't done for a while? On my stream, we haven't had a catching up with news and video games and stuff like that. So we can definitely, like, after the epilogue, either we'll do it like if the epilogue is super short and then we'll just have like a stream where we just chill and hang out, or we might do a chill and hang out stream the next stream after. Used to watch Chugga. I have not heard the name Chugga Conroy in frickin' years, man. The epilogue is over an hour. Then maybe, you know, on Tuesday I'll stream the epilogue. Or I don't know how much of the epilogue, but probably the court case plus the epilogue. And then on Wednesday, maybe we'll even have like a hangout stream, an emotional recovery stream, before we go into yet another depression simulator that is Yakuza. Do I remember Koopa Kung Fu? I don't. Oh, that might have been after my time, to be honest.
I love.
Oh. The court case plus the... Okay. Chugga's still doing very good. What? You're telling me he hasn't been canceled? You're telling me that a YouTuber from old YouTube hasn't been embroiled in like 17 controversies yet? What are you talking about? Don't lie to me. Don't lie. Impossible. Sully Pones. I mean, that's a name I've only heard. I didn't watch Sully Pones. Like, for me, YouTube was Niga Higa. And you guys might not remember Kev Jumba, who was along the lines of Niga Higa as well. Like, I remember when, for some reason, 14-year-old girls loved Fred. I don't know why, but Fred had a massive female audience. And it wasn't necessarily because he was like attractive or something. I'm not saying he's like not attractive. I'm not trying to insult him. Okay, but it's like, you know, do you guys remember Fred? Like, Fred had a massive female audience. Yes, Fred, the annoying guy who pitched up his voice. Like, he was the #1 YouTuber in like 2005. It's cleaning day. Have some good cleaning. The one with 3 movies. Does he have 3 movies? What the? Honestly, when a lot of the classic YouTubers, when they got exposed to the general entertainment industry, they started falling apart because they didn't realize that at the time, the general entertainment functioned very different from YouTube. Now we understand that, and so now YouTubers are better at creating like a media empire. Like, I mean, for example, look at Mr. Beast, right? But he knows how to navigate the social media and with exposed to the regular media. But it's like, back then, like someone like Fred and Smosh, like, you know, people often say like, oh, when Fred made the video, he fell off. When Niga Higa, did Niga Higa make a video? I have a movie, I don't know. But then Smosh movie, it's like, oh, well, they fell off or whatever. And like, or like, you know, I think Smosh, what is it? The guys who made Smosh sold it eventually. See you later, Balra. But yeah, it's like a lot of them didn't realize at the time that the strategy to handle traditional media is different from the strategy to handle social media. So they brought it back. They bought it back a few years. Oh, did they? What? One of them was named Anthony. That's all I remember. Ian and Anthony, that's it. To tell you the truth, I never really watched them too much, but I know they were popular. It's like, I remember, oh man, when PewDiePie was first getting really popular and everyone's like, what's the fun of PewDiePie? Well, it's like, you know what PewDiePie proved? PewDiePie proved that a lot of people just want a normal friend. Oh man. And to an extent, that was like one of the same reasons why, what's his name? Nigahiga from old YouTube. Like, Nigahiga, like, he did like crappy webcam videos. And those were really popular. Like, nowadays, YouTube is so heavy overproduced. But it's like, back then, like, the more relatable you were, the more popular you were. Back then. And it's partially like guys who would like use like crappy webcam stuff, they would actually do a lot better than like guys who actually had professional cameras because they were more relatable. A lot of people just want someone to put on while they eat. I know, right? Yeah, like legit. Like honestly, the only time I really watch YouTube nowadays is when I'm doing something mindless like paperwork and like just have it running in the background, or like I'm eating, like I'm out eating a burger or something. PewDiePie's Pug song, what was it? Jabba the Hutt. Ryan William Johnson, didn't he get canceled like 20 times? Nigahiga is primarily doing streams on Twitch. That doesn't surprise me. Yeah, it turns out keeping up with heavy production is really hard. Like, look at how overly produced like Minecraft videos are nowadays. It's like nobody really watches Minecraft that much anymore. But it's like when Minecraft got really popular during like 2020 to like 2022, that was so overproduced. Like cuts every 3 seconds. It was like, you know, they brought in like actors. They did this and so on and so forth. You still watch I never actually did very much in Minecraft. I played Minecraft like once in my life. And during the time, I kind of put a whole bunch of villagers in a pig pen. What? That's all I remember. I got a whole bunch of villagers and forced them to breed. That's what I remember about playing Minecraft. Normal Minecraft behavior. Yeah, and you know what was really interesting? There were a lot of people who weren't ready for publicity. And so they fell apart, and then they did terrible things. And, you know, and I'm not defending them, by the way, but I will acknowledge that there are a lot of people who they don't know how to handle publicity. Because what are these? Like, a lot of these kids are like, what? They're just like fresh out of high school, maybe into college, and they just wanted to make videos for fun, and suddenly they're making, like, they actually, you know, can get, like, they get, like, 3 million people watching, even if they didn't make that much money off of it. Because, you know, a long time ago, YouTube, you couldn't even make money. So it's like, suddenly they have this publicity, and then now, like, you know, they're not sure how to handle it. So, you know, they get overinflated egos, and they don't know how to deal with, you know, fans, especially, what is it, like, you know, fangirls. Like, you know, you look at fangirls who obsess over the YouTubers, and they think, oh, they must be romantically interested or something like that. You know, like a whole bunch of all these problems that appear. You'll have to watch my old Minecraft Let's Plays. Oh my goodness. I had a building called the Unemployment Center, and it was essentially a slave ring. of Minecraft villagers. That's why if you look up some of my videos on like a whole bunch of things, like when I played Power World, it was called the Unemployment Center because that's what it was. Parasocial relationships. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Although I will say it does happen more to guys than it does to girls, mainly because YouTube is mostly guys. I'm not sure you guys know this. I actually brag about the number of females who like to watch my videos because I have about like 60% male and 40% female, right? And it's like that's actually not bad for in terms of the female ratio, because YouTube is about 80% male. I'm not sure if you guys know that. I looked very different before you. Don't even remind me. Yeah, I looked like a slob. My hair was like all like, what is it? Who called it Linkin Park bangs? Yeah, anyway, I better get going and getting some dinner. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I cannot wait for the final stream. Or, not sure if it's the final stream, but... Alright, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Simping for Sidon. Sidon's the freaking best, okay? Sidon, I freaking love this man. He's my boy. Okay, I kind of mostly just liked his sister. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. You have any quests for me? I will see you all next time.